black people are not the original inhabitants of South Africa, which, in fact, they're realizing that now. When they claimed that they owned all the land, the original inhabitants, of who there are not many left, said, excuse me, we were the original inhabitants. You guys were migrants here as well, which they were. Okay, the original inhabitants of Southern Africa are called the Khoisan. All right, now, and they were the inhabitants of the whole of Southern Africa. So the whole of South Africa, at one stage, were Khoisan. The black people originated in what is now Cameroon. That's where they...
Hold on, Khoisan aren't black?
No.
What are they?
They're a completely separate ethnicity all on their own. In fact, if you look at them, they're kind of yellowy. They're a light brown yellow color, right. But they look more Asian than African. They do not consider themselves African.
Interesting.
When the white guys arrive in Cape Town, so 1652 is when Dutch guys arrived there. At that stage, you could have divided South Africa almost exactly 50-50, what's now South Africa. The western half of the country was entirely Khoisan. There were no black people there. None at all. Only Khoisan. So we're Cape Towners, all that area, Khoisan people. The northern part of the country did have black people. They'd started arriving, and they were still migrating.
How long have they been there in the northern?
Well, it's a moot point, and people have debated it. It would seem that black people had probably started arriving in the northern parts of South Africa maybe 1,000 years.
So I watch this guy is a really a disgrace, a disrespect to the entire continent of Africa. First of all, I'm gonna have to disagree with what he said and trying to let you guys know what's true to our people. Khoisans are really black, 100% black. They've got tons of melanin. If you have melanin, that's the chemical that makes you to become black. And when you come here to the Western Cape, you find a lot of color from Western Cape. The one that they always think they are like Khoisans, they don't have a lot of melanins, but they have. But it might be about 12%, 15%. If you find a color with like so many melanins, it's never gonna go over 60% or 50%, right? And the Khoisan's melanin is like 78% or even 80-something%, right? Because we are all mix of everywhere in the world, but the majority is Africa. Okay, so you saying that Khoisans they were not black, and then they were the aboriginal of the area, so-called South Africa. You are right, but they are black because they have a lot of melanin. If you trust the people from Botswana, you trust the people from Namibia, the black people from Namibia, and Thousand Angola, and the Khoisan people and Setswana people from South Africa, they are almost all the same. They look the same. And the misconceptions of the people of color, I'm talking about the colored community in South Africa, it's because there was not that heavy history class that they could have taught them of who they are. They do not know where they come from. And that's most of them, because literally we black people that come from other side of Africa, we can literally tell by the features. Many people look Indians, many people look Asians, and many people look whitish, and few people look Khoi, which is, we can tell, right? So them, they have these misconceptions because you are a colored, that means you are a direct descendant of Khoisan. No, that does not make you a direct descendant of Khoisan. In fact, the black people of South Africa, people like Nelson Mandela, if you look at him, he's a Khoi, a real Khoisan. People like also people from the Eastern Cape and the Western Cape, if you look at them, they are literally, those are the Khoisan. And if you're trying to check the DNA, I swear to God, they will have about 84% Khoisan, right? So you saying like the Khoisan were the aboriginal people of the Southern Africa, of South Africa, and black people are not the one, they are aboriginal of South Africa, therefore you are wrong. I don't know what type of prophecy is this, but you got to learn more about linguistic and race in Africa. You got to understand the that Africans, Pygmy and Bantu, they were nomadic, like moving from season to season. This season they are staying here. The other season they migrated this side because at that time colonialism was not so big. Like me, for example, I'm the 11th generation in my family, and when we trace back our lineage, you can tell when white people came to Africa, when everything started to change. You can see the migration. You can see the migration, how people started to migrate from north to central, from central to south, or to from central to east, from east to west. So, therefore, some people derive not necessarily from Cameroon, as that guy mentioned, because the biggest kingdom in the Central Africa was the Congo Kingdom, right? So many people derive from Congo, from the Congo. They're still Bantu people, and there is a almost like 63% or 60 something percent of Bantu people in South Africa. You can tell them that this is not their land. No, they've been there for centuries. In fact, Khoi and Bantu, they are the same people. It's just because they used to live in the different regions of Africa. Like if you go to Eastern Northern Africa, you find the Neolithics. And if you come to Central East Africa, where there is Rwanda, you find Neolithics. If you come to eastern side of DRC, where I come from, I'm not a Neolithic, I'm a Bantu, look at my big nose, but you're gonna find Neolithics, right? If you go down to South Africa, you will find some Neolithic, few of them. There are some Zulu people that looks exactly like Neolithics. If you take them from KwaZulu Natal and you drop them in Rwanda, you won't know any different. It's not gonna happen, right? So this guy got to educate himself more on linguistic, race, and ethnicity in Africa before going to the biggest podcasts in the world and trying to say black people are not the original people of South Africa. No, you got to clean that misconceptions. And if you guys like you are light skinned, what I'm just gonna advise you one day is got to go out there and trying to make your DNA test so you can see where exactly you come from, because most people they have so much misconception because they are brown people, because they're colored people in South Africa. You see somebody looks Indian, but you keep on saying he's Khoisan. You see somebody look Chinese, Asian, Malaysians. We all know about the story of the Cape Malay, but you keep on saying you're Khoisan. No, you are not. You are not. Check yourself. Go do the DNA test so you can find who you are, right? And the Khoisan people are the blackest people in South Africa. The black people, the Xhosa people, the Setswana people, the Venda people, the Sepedi people, the Sotho people. Those are the ones that they mix with Khoi. So share this to your story so you can educate a lot of your friends, because here in the Western Cape, the misconception is always high. People don't know a lot of things, even their race. Like people are being misled every single day, and that's exactly why Amka Podcast is here. Please hit the button like. Please, if you're watching this, I'm begging you, please like this video, please, and share it to your story. Okay, see ya.